Okay, so I finally saw the clip in its entirety of Marvin Sapp, um, doing the offering and asking people to sow $20, sow $1,000, sow $100, whatever. Here's the thing. I grew up in the church, right? I know how it goes. My thing that I kind of put a bad taste in my mouth is that it didn't come from a place of like, give into the church and give to God so that God could move in your life. He was saying it like, give it to me. Like, I want to see y'all come up here and give me the money. But my tithe and my offerings belong to the Lord. So not once did he say like, oh, when you sow into this church, you will reap benefits from this church. When you sow into this good house, you will reap the benefits from this church, from God. He was like, oh, I know y'all got it. Oh, it costs to be up here. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. But it just came from such a place of like, I don't know, it was very forceful, and it was very like, had nothing to do with God. God was not in that at all. That was all flesh. That was all worldly stuff.
So in case you've been under a rock, Marvin Sapp is in hot water. Everybody saw the video, heard around the world. Marvin Sapp saying, close the doors, close those doors. We got to get this paper. We got to get this money. I can't sit up here for free. I can't propagate the word of the Lord for free. Y'all got to get that money up, right? So he was asking for $40,000, right? During the time when the economy is not at its best, a lot of people are going through things with the new president. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going. The morale of the country is down right now, right? And he's, in the pulpit asking for 1,000 people to give $20, and then he got people watching from online. He want them to give $20. He want his ushers, and he was saying no movement right now. This is a sacred time. Everybody be moved by the word of God and give up the money. And that's what he was saying, right? Well, that didn't go too well with viewers around the world, and everybody's voicing their opinion. Everybody's making videos, as you can see with the young lady in the beginning of this video. Everybody's voicing their opinion. Now, years ago, you can get away with this kind of stuff because people were so really into religion, so hard. Whatever the pastor said, as long as they believed that it was by the word of God, they went with it. Well, we live in a day now where the world is wide open with social media, and people can get to different places that they never would be able to get to years ago. So they're not as attentive or listening to the pastors or what they perceive the word of God would be. We're in a whole different time, a whole different world. That world is over, right? So now Tasha K has caught wind of this, and also Ricky Smiley. So Ricky Smiley is Negro splaining for Marvin Sapp. And he's trying to run interference. And he's saying that Marvin Sapp is going to be on his show, right? On his up-and-coming show, right? So this is what he said when he came to social media.
What's up, y'all? What's up? I'm broadcasting live from Disney. We talked about this morning. Marvin Sapp is coming on the show Monday. And how are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I think my followers going to make jokes about it, but I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I know y'all going to crack on my shirt. I want to say this. And just tell you why this bothered me. I understand everybody have an opinion on tithes and offering and how it was done. But here's the problem. One thing I hate lies, and I hate liars. Y'all know damn well that man didn't say nothing about lock.
I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
The word lock means don't let in, don't let out. Close means You can go out if you want. The pastor asks you not to go out. And if you choose to go out, you can go out. Or if you snatch the door and the ushers are at the door, you can go in. Okay? Y'all told a damn lie. You love to tear people down by lying on them and without clear context. Nobody from that church or that was in that congregation complained. And every pastor that I seen her talk to didn't have no issue with it. You took one clip and made whatever you wanted to make out of, which was a damn lie. Because lock is kidnapped. Close the door. And let me say this right here. And I said this on the radio show. This is what I said on the radio show. Stop lying on people. Stop talking. Look at all the blogs and all of the stories talking about he said lock the door. He didn't say no damn lock. And you're a lying dog. And you're a dog for lying. I'm gonna follow y'all. I said you're a lie and you're a dog. And you just lied. Cause locking the door and closing the door. And let me add this. There are certain part of the church service that is sacred, where the doors are supposed to be closed. Tithes and offering, when someone is praying, when the pastor is taking his text, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, during a baptismal, but there are certain parts of the church service that, sorry about that. There are certain parts of the church service that is sacred, and the doors are supposed to be closed. Hey.
So Ricky Smiley, he's probably one of his frat brothers or whatever. You know how that bootleg class. He's on there now, and he's saying, listen, he didn't say lock the doors. He said close the door. We're not going to lock nobody in. We're not doing all those things against your will. If you want to leave out, you can leave out. That's what he's saying. This thing is real crazy, right? But Tasha K got wind of this, and she went to her channel, with her large platform. Because remember, the church for many years has just been supported mainly by black women, right, in the black church. And a lot of black women took umbrage with this, right? They were very upset in the manner in which the way that he done this, right? So he's under fire from black women, period. And that's a problem when you're a pastor in a black church and you're under fire from black women. But Tasha K took to social media and she went at him by doing this.
Speaking of who need a Birkin right now, Marvin Sapp can sell one of them purses, okay? Now, I told like the church man, listen. I'm a prayer. I ain't even watching the live stream. You know what I'm saying? I just talk to God. You can go in the water, guys. You can talk to God. Go in the shower. Go outside. Sit on some grass. Put your feet on the sidewalk. Don't take your phone, because your phone, the energy that's transmitted to your phone intercepts the energy that you would get from the trees, from the air, from the ground, from the sun. This will intercept that, guys. Okay, so listen, because we are electricity too. Remember when we used to be able to touch somebody? And you hit an electrical current? When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you touched somebody? You're like, oh, I shocked you. It happens to me a lot when I go to Africa, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's on the phone and it's not that much power. And they only have power like 2 to 3 hours a day in Mali. So the rest of the day, we literally are relying on daylight, you know what I'm saying? And then at night, we with candles, okay? There's no power like that in Bamako, Mali, all right? And so you'll get those electricity currents, but we don't get them no more because the phones that we hold all day is taking up that energy that we get, because we're electromagnetic people. That's how we attract people, right? And so you say you do it all the time. You must not be on your phone all the time, Bonetta. That's a good thing. That's a good power to have, okay? And so I just prefer to go in nature and just talk to God myself, because I don't want to get locked in no church. I don't want to be kidnapped. I don't want to be held hostage and told that the only way that I can leave being a free individual in the United States of America is if I give $1,000 to these rich folks that's on stage. Go, 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 go.
1,000 of you, I said close them doors.
Close the doors.
Ushers, close the doors.
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 You heard him.
We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed.
Down here.
I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws.
Close the doors. Close the doors. He never gave an update on whether or not he got that money. I guess he got that money because everybody went home. He said y'all wasn't going nowhere but to eat some chicken, to eat out to the buffet. So you could give that money to me and you ain't got to eat. Whenever, like, I just went to church in Panama City to my Uncle Lonnie's church. It's called New Beginnings. If you ever in Panama City, Florida, stop by New Beginnings. When you go into that church, they say, hey, give what you can. If you can't get nothing, please go to the kitchen and go get some tomatoes, some potatoes, some onions. We don't cook for you, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're here and you are here to receive the word of God today, it doesn't matter if you have it or not. We'll find a way to get it. We're a nonprofit. Okay. It reminded me of when I was a child and I was like, this man is just so pure hearted. He ain't perfect, but he pure. He pure. He been running the same church in the same area even before I was born. His kids was going. Shout out to my Uncle Lonnie. Shout out to my Uncle Lonnie Mitchell. Where you can go to church and they can feed you. Now you got to go to church with a Birkin bag ready to pawn it. I'm for real. Y'all better y'all than me because I would have called the police in the church. Now, yes, I am being held hostage now. The pastor is fat. He's a little feminine. His jacket too tight. He always trying to wear stuff to cover up that big ass belly. He's got gold chains on and stuff, and he's demanding that I and we in this congregation give him $1,000 and he's not gonna let us go. Can you come pick his ass up right now? Yes, the address is I ain't got a church. I'm telling you, I would have filed a case. I would have filed a case. That $40,000, he could have sold a car that was parked at his house if he needed it that bad. 40K? 40K? I would have sued. I would have sued. I'm telling you, I would have sued. I would have called the police. I would have called everybody I could until he would have opened the door. I would have been like, open the door. Open the door. Not when open the door. I'm going to hang up the phone. Open the door. Open the door. Okay. Now, y'all come on to Ryan's. Let's go. Shawnee's. If we too many at Ryan's, we're going to Shawnee's. Garden Corral. Get your ass in the car. Like, for real. Come on now. I ain't got a church. That's what this church needs to be called. I ain't got it. Now, I ain't got a church. So, he came out trying to address it. It didn't make sense. It's just, I don't know. Even if there's more to this story, like that there was enough, unless he's saying somebody need a heart transplant right now and we the church, please give what you give to give it. But we didn't hear that. Okay?
I'm going to say this, right? You know, Tasha Key said she would have called the police on him. The world that we live in is a new world, right? One thing I know that Marvin Sapp's wife passed away, unfortunately. God rest her soul. And he moved on and got another woman. A lot of people don't like that. You know, as a pastor, you're supposed to just sit and be miserable. You know what I mean? You know, everybody else can do what they want to do in their life. They can move around and monkey branch from man to man or woman to woman, but you can't. They're going to hold you to a higher standard than they hold themselves to because you are a man of the cloth, right? That's number one. Number two, he's looked at as a very successful multi-millionaire platinum artist. And you're asking for money from people that's broke. They're going to question that. Remember I told you, I said when I was growing up, the world was a closed fist. There was no social media. The only people that you knew was the people in your area, unless you had family down south and you had to either call or drive down there. You couldn't talk to them from a computer. Like you couldn't, the world wasn't open like it is now. So we have more access to things than we ever had, right? Where back in the day, you didn't have access. So all you had was your family and the church, and you hung on to those things. Nowadays, you got a whole bunch of other things that you can hang on to. It's outside of the church, right? So the pastors don't have the power that they used to have, nor the covering, right? And one of the main reasons why they don't have the covering that they used to have is because they've been indulging in a lot of things that's not the word of God, right? They've also been supporting things in the public that's diametrically opposed to the word of God and the Bible. That's what it is, right? They've been supporting these things, and we all see it. So now the covering is being removed, and these pastors are being exposed before the world without the covering of the Most High. And that's what's happening. Because if this was years ago, this wouldn't have been nothing. But now this is a big deal because Marvin Sapp no longer has his covering, just as well as a lot of these pastors no longer have their covering. Because they didn't stand on business when the enemy showed up. When the enemy showed up, they didn't use the word as their sword. No. They didn't use Ephesians 6 when it was time to stand up. And this is why they've been exposed. But I'm going to cut this video short here, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Everybody see this video, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think so this video can get out to the algorithm. Help me beat this algorithm. I need you guys to leave comments. I need you guys to hit the like button. All right? So remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.